Ricky's Room. Ricky's Room was a children's television show which had run from 1999 to 2000. It had also aired on PBS Kids back in the early 2000s. The show follows the story of Ricky, with each episode 4 of Ricky's friends visiting Ricky's room, where they go on different adventures and explore many educational concepts. As of today, out of the 39 episodes known to have aired, only 6 full episodes have resurfaced. The rest remain completely lost. Earl Sweatshirt and the Alchemist Lost YouTube Album. Earl Sweatshirt is a famous American rapper who is well known for his inclusion within the hip-hop group Odd Future. The Alchemist is a well-known producer who has done lots of notorious work with rappers like Mac Miller, Nas, and more. In 2019, The Alchemist had been asked by a fan if him and Earl would ever do a project together. His response was surprising. He had mentioned how he already created an album with Earl Sweatshirt that was available on YouTube, although it was hidden under a fake name. At first, many fans were skeptical over his response. It was unsure if this was some sort of joke. However, the search for this hidden album would become more serious when in 2021, The Alchemist would once again create a tweet regarding this album. As of today, no information on this hidden album has been discovered. Many fans have theorized that this album may not even exist, due to the little information we actually have on it. Waluigi's Toenail Clipping Party. Waluigi's Toenail Clipping Party, also known as Waluigi's Foot Fault. This is definitely one of the weirdest pieces of Nintendo lost media, which is why I want to discuss this. So this was an official Nintendo Flash game from 2000 that was created to promote Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. This game would be discovered through a Nintendo Power magazine article titled Mamma Mia, It's Waluigi. In this game, the player would clip Waluigi's toenails and would have to catch them with a jar to earn points. I don't know. The game was available to play on a Nintendo promotional website known as waluigi.com. The Flash game has since been lost to time. The game itself or any type of gameplay footage hasn't resurfaced. All we have is just a preview screen which had been discovered from an old SWF file. Pokemon PC Master. Pokemon PC Master was a Japan-exclusive educational PC game released in 2006 that was developed by Umbrella and published by the Pokemon Company. The game would teach different skills related to typing, internet browsing, drawing, and how to use a mouse. The game was once available on the website pokemon-pcmaster.com. This site went down around 2007 and has since been bought out by someone else. January 2018. A CD-ROM disc for a trial version was uncovered by user Turdax001, which is now available for download online. It appears that the full game was only available via a paid subscription or educational program, and since remains unplayable. Astro Farm. Astro Farm is a British children's claymation series which ran from 1991 to 1996 on CITV. The show would be later rebroadcasted on Nick Jr. from 1999 to 2003, and as well Nick Jr. Classics from 2004 to 2009. This claymation series revolves around a family who live on asteroid farms and go on different adventures as they grow, harvest, and learn about their strange asteroid farm. Out of the 53 episodes that were aired, only 16 episodes have resurfaced in full, while the rest remain lost. The Crayon Box. In 1997, The Crayon Box, which is a poem about diversity created by Shane DeRolf, had been adapted into a best-selling children's book, an animated short, and puppet show. The book and the animated short are pretty well known. They are not that challenging to find. This puppet show that was made, however, is extremely obscure and rare. The puppet show ran from 1997 to 1998 and revolved around a group of toy puppets who acted out popular stories. The show followed Bananas in Pajamas as part of a 30-minute double show, with each show being 15 minutes. As of now, only one episode and copies of a tie-in book has resurfaced. No other episodes have reappeared and remain lost. The Land of Dough Buddies. On April 26, 2021, A Reddit user would create a post to the Lost Media subreddit, stating they were in search for a supposedly cursed lost children's game known as the Land of Dough Buddies. At the time of this post, there was only pictures of the game online. No gameplay footage existed, and the user behind this post would describe as many things as they could remember regarding the game. It seemed like this game really affected them, as they apparently still can remember the nightmares they had from the supposedly children's game. Months later, October 4th, 2021, a user on YouTube known as DappleJackalope would upload a pretty much full playthrough of the game. Viewing through this gameplay footage, yeah, I can honestly see why a child would have been frightened of this game. It actually does seem pretty cursed.
Delicious. I wouldn't mind another. Can I have 4 scoops of blackcurrant ice cream, please?
4 scoops of blackcurrant ice cream?
Oh, cakes are delicious when they're soft and luscious.
You mustn't touch the oven. It's dangerous.
What a lovely plump cake. I bet you can't bake one just like it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
They explained in the comments of the video that they found it in a box of old edutainment PC games when they noticed someone on Reddit was hunting for it. They were unable to get the game off the disc onto the internet for everyone to play. However, figured recording as much gameplay as they could was the next best thing. At the moment, no available playable ROM of the game has resurfaced online. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius TV promos. When the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie had been released back in 2001, Nickelodeon would interrupt some of their shows with different shorts and gags in order to promote the movie and later TV show. Some of these short gags include Jimmy stretching out the Nick Turkey logo during an episode of As Told by Ginger, Jimmy messing with the visuals and audio during a Hey Arnold episode, and Jimmy using one of his inventions to blow up the Nick logo during an episode of Rugrats. You get the idea. Although a great amount of Jimmy Neutron gags are still available to watch today, some of these short gags have become lost and haven't resurfaced since their airing. There are also many different promos with their existence being unconfirmed. It's unknown if these actually exist. The Dinky Dees. The Dinky Dees was an Australian animated TV series that premiered in 1991. The show as well years later aired dubbed in Italy 1995, in Korea 1997, and in Poland 1998. It was created by Mel Bradford, owned by Roo Films, and animated by Pacific Rim Productions. The series never got its own official release after it stopped airing and has since faded into obscurity. The Dinky Dees revolves around a group of andromorphic animals that travel the world saving and rescuing endangered animals and plants. The series focuses on educating its audience on the importance of environmental preservation. Now, what has actually been found so far of this series? Out of all the 26 episodes that have aired, only 3 episodes have resurfaced. These resurfaced episodes include the 12th episode, known as Baron of Babel, a 3-minute snippet of an episode which goes by the Bilby Table, it's unspecified as to what number episode the Bilby Table falls into, and the first half of the first episode and a full version of the first episode being in a Polish dub. Although we don't seem to have a lot of found media from the actual series itself, the character designer and background artist Andrew Trimmer has a pretty huge amount of his work for this series accessible on his own online portfolio. The most notable thing in this portfolio is what appears to be numerous backgrounds and character designs for the season finale Small Hippo Big Bust. In 1991, Roo Films would go on to file copyrights for several different episodes and character artworks in the United States Copyright Office. The copyrights would go on to reveal some of the characters' names and some names for missing episodes. YouTube Poops had also been created a while back which would use clips from missing episodes. However, the creator no longer has these missing episodes available in their possession. Copeland's Herobrine stream. I'm sure most of you are aware of Herobrine, a mythical figure who is theorized to be in the Minecraft game. Copeland's Herobrine stream refers to a sighting of the Herobrine character by Brocraft streamer Copeland in 2010. The live stream was one of the first videos on the internet which showcased Herobrine. Herobrine had only appeared in images prior to the stream. Copeland at the time was a popular Minecraft streamer, and after discovering the original story of Herobrine, decided to orchestrate a hoax involving Herobrine by taking a screenshot and photoshopping Herobrine into it. After getting positive reception upon creating this hoax image, Copeland would orchestrate yet another Herobrine hoax. However, this time would be in the form of a live stream. On August 30th, 2010, Copeland commenced a live stream of him playing a Minecraft world, in which beforehand they spent a little while in Photoshop putting an image of Herobrine on a painting, and then putting that painting up in a small room in one of the in-progress houses. The livestream went on as usual and would avoid this house with the Herobrine painting inside for around 2 hours to make the hoax seem more legit. Copeland would happen to run into the room of the house, and directly in front of the door would be Herobrine. Copeland would scream into the mic, ran out of the house, and turned off the stream. The same day, Copeland would turn into the Minecraft forum, creating a new topic and posting a link to the stream, writing, "Skip to the last 2 minutes." The thread blew up, and at the time it was unsure to believe whether or not this Herobrine sighting was legit or real. The stream has achieved a legendary status, as it is heavily responsible for further pushing the myth of Herobrine into the mainstream. However, this original Copeland livestream has been lost to time. Only recreations and remakes exist, not the original. The only things which have survived of the livestream include 2 different screenshots. One of the moment Copeland comes into contact with Herobrine, and another which is before the meeting of Herobrine. Pringles Never Shut. Never Shut, formerly titled Midnight Holiday Hunt, was a flash game which had been released March 2005 to market and advertise Pringles. Made for Procter & Gamble UK in partnership with MKM Marketing and Promotions Limited. The game revolved around you late night talking with Sanjeev, who was a cashier at an all-night store. The aim and goal of the game is to obtain all 5 cans of different Pringle flavors by successfully navigating conversation topics. You would type in messages and the Sanjeev actor would respond to what you said. It was an interesting concept. This flash game is fully lost and hasn't been preserved anywhere. A splash screen for the website had been archived at archive.org, but not any of the videos which were in the game. The videos are crucial for playing it. We also have a short promo for Never Shut available on the YouTube website, which showcases just a few seconds of gameplay footage. Wanted Suspects. February 1970. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department designated Wanted Suspects Investigation Month, and as a part of this endeavor, the public had been requested to cooperate through a television commercial. The commercials aired during station break slots on 5 television networks, but it's unknown when or how long they were airing. The internet had become aware of the commercial's existence when a user mentioned it within a spooky commercial thread on April 27, 2002. The commercial would later be talked about often in other threads which discuss spooky commercials, although many descriptions and details being different from one another. From all the small details that have been gathered from eyewitnesses, a mock-up recreation video has been uploaded onto YouTube.
警察庁からのお願いです。梅内恒夫、24歳、爆発物取締罰則違反の容疑者、身長176センチ、痩せ型、やや猫背、この顔見たら110番。警察庁からのお願いです。永田博子、26歳、京浜安保共闘、強盗傷害の容疑者、身長150センチ、丸顔、浅黒くてギョロ目、この顔見たら110番。警察庁からのお願いです。坂口博士、25歳、京浜安保共闘、強盗傷害の容疑者、身長176センチ、眉毛が濃い、この顔見たら110番。
Omishiro Hanbun, I probably butchered that, sorry, also known as Half Serious, is a magazine which was published from January 1972 to August 1980. This magazine would run a feature article entitled Contemporary Genre Materials in 1975 and 1979, where only the commercial portion of one day's TV broadcast was transcripted. In the midst of the transcripts of the commercial portion of the February 5th, 1975 Mainichi broadcast was a commercial for a wanted suspect. VHS tapes and other media back in the 1970s were pretty rare. It's extremely difficult to find recordings from around that time frame. However, there's a chance that these commercials may have also aired in the early 1980s. Rory the Racing Car Pitch Pilot. Rory the Racing Car is a stop-motion TV series created by David Jenkins that ran from 2007 to 2010. The show follows the single-seater race car Rory, who goes on different adventures with his group of friends at the Silver Hatch racetrack. It's a show which I remember watching a whole lot as a kid, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this did too. A pilot had been developed in 2005 to pitch the series to TV executives at the Cannes Film Festival that same year. From what we can see in some available promotional pictures from this pilot, the characters had some pretty different designs. The most obvious difference we can see is Rory's color. Rather than appearing in his famous red color, Rory is green instead. The character Maxie is as well red instead of yellow. There really isn't any other additional information on the pilot or the pilot's plot. All we have are resurfaced promotional screenshots. It's unsure if this pilot will ever see the light of day. McDonald's Archie dancing advertisement. This is Archie, who was a former mascot for McDonald's and appeared throughout the 1960s, predating Ronald McDonald. Around the early 1960s, Archie had appeared in a McDonald's commercial where he would be, quote, dancing around a McDonald's countertop. We know this commercial exists as the oldest operating McDonald's in Downey, California contains a plaque which mentions this specific commercial. However, after all of these years, no commercial has resurfaced which contains Archie dancing on a countertop. A Discord user had messaged McDonald's customer support via email asking about the commercial. A McDonald's representative had responded, and their response leaned towards the idea that it is unlikely McDonald's still have the commercial in their possession. Hot Dog TV. This was a series of 1-minute interstitials which would feature hot dog puppets from one of the Henson Company's own stage shows, Stuffed and Unstrung. The small series was directed by Patrick Bristow and Brian Henson, and written by Nate Knetchel, I believe. Production of Hot Dog TV started in 2009, and would eventually air on Cartoon Network during the summer of 2010. The show hasn't aired or been released since. The show is incredibly obscure. The only thing we really know about it was that 12 episodes in total were created, and the names and air dates of 4 of these episodes. A screenshot of the episode R is able to be found within a page listing for a compilation of short films titled Short Stack, Family Films, which included the short. On November 8th, 2019, a user on YouTube who goes by Fry's Video Archives uploaded a VHS rip of the episode Fiendish Footlong, and would years later, April 22nd, 2022, upload a higher quality rip of the same episode. However, the beginning of the episode appears to be cut off, making this episode only partially found. A clip from an unknown short can be discovered through a puppetry reel, uploaded by puppeteer Donna Kimball to YouTube on December 15th, 2018, at the exact 2-minute mark, consisting of some hot dogs at the beach getting their relaxation interrupted by a shark fin. Friday Night Slime Time. Friday Night Slime Time was a Nickelodeon game show which aired on Friday nights from September 23rd, 2005 to March 24th, 2006, in between regular programs. The game show had been hosted by Lil JJ and Chloe Delandis. In its first season, the show would take place from the outdoor courtyard of the Nickelodeon Animation Studios in Burbank, California, and in its second season at the Nickelodeon Hotel in Orlando, Florida. The show consists of contestants being pulled from the audience who played different messy games like SpongeBob Shootout and Filler Up. The contestants' Nicktoons knowledge was also put up to the test. When the game finishes, contestants would receive a chance to compete in the Friday Night Face-Off. The winner would leave the show with a prize and an unbelievable sliming. On April 7th, 2006, the show would end up being replaced by Nick Friday Night. As of now, out of the 25 episodes that had aired on Nickelodeon, only 2 episodes have been partially found. Plants vs. Aliens. Plants vs. Aliens, a Facebook Flash game which is an obvious ripoff and clone of the famous tower defense game Plants vs. Zombies. The game was created by a developer which goes by Snail Color, and it was a pretty popular game. The game's premise revolved around guardian angels creating plans to save the world from an alien invasion. It made use of different features and mechanics that the original PvZ game did not have. The game was unfortunately shut down around 2010 to 2011 after PopCap issued a DMCA on Snail Color. The game hasn't seen the light of day since its shutdown, and it's unknown if we will ever be able to play this game again. Music Pets. Music Pets was a Facebook game that had been developed by Conduit Labs in 2010. In this game, the player would have their very own pet, and could decorate their pet's room and feed it. Players could as well make their pet happy by playing different licensed songs. This game had a lot of songs, and included music licensed from Universal Music Group, as well as 150,000 tracks from independent labels. It was a pretty popular game, and at its peak would contain 1.2 million monthly users. In August 2010, Conduit Labs was acquired by Zynga. The game would later be shut down that year, September 17th. Since the game shut down, it has since remained unplayable and lost. Seiko Wallet Commercial. Seiko Wallet is a Filipino wallet brand, well known for its slogan,
"Ang wallet na maswerte."
Many eyewitnesses recall an iconic low-budget commercial for Seiko Wallet that had aired on IBC 13 in the late 80s and the early 90s. The commercial is described as low quality and low budget, and all the commercial does is show a slideshow montage of wallets with no voiceover whatsoever or any end tags. The commercial supposedly contained a jingle throughout. This jingle is obviously also lost along with the commercial, but an audio recreation of this jingle and the commercial had been created and uploaded to YouTube back in 2009.
Seiko wallet, wallet na maswerte. Wallet nito ay genuine, international pa ang mga design. Wallet na maswerte. Seiko wallet. Seiko wallet. Seiko wallet, ang wallet na maswerte.
Mentions of the ad and search efforts have been frequent since the 2000s, with discussion of this commercial being found through many forums. However, the commercial is still yet to be found. Dr. Zen. This was a Japanese anime television series from 1965 produced by Japanese Telecartoons. This series consists of around 100 mini episodes that aired on weekdays from May 31st to November 4th of 1965. The original Japanese series has become lost. However, an American remake was developed which would eventually be cancelled. A few episodes of this remake were created, and 6 of these have been uploaded onto YouTube. It appears though that the Japanese version and all of its episodes are completely lost. Come to Papa. This was an American sitcom which had aired on NBC in June of 2004. The show revolves around a character named Tom, who is played by comedian Tom Papa. Tom is a reporter for a newspaper, and has a wife named Karen who is played by Jennifer Aspin. Tom aspires to write comedy so that he is able to leave New Jersey. At his newspaper job, Tom must put up with his boss, Michael Scott. Just kidding, his boss named Belvin, who was played by Steve Carell. The show was heavily criticized, and according to critics was a letdown. Due to the poor ratings and low viewership, NBC would go on to cancel Come to Papa after just the 4th episode aired. 12 episodes had been created. So far, only 2 episodes have resurfaced since its shutdown. Episode 2 and 4 have since been missing, and it's unknown if we'll ever get to see the remaining unaired 8 episodes. Crash Landed. Also known as I Am Crash Bandicoot, is a cancelled game that was developed for Wii, for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Nintendo DS. Radical Entertainment would go on to develop the Xbox 360, Wii, and PS3 versions of the game, while the DS version on the other hand had been developed by Renegade Kid. The game follows the story of Crash Bandicoot after being mutated by Cortex, and Crash would have gotten entangled with the task of rescuing his fellow Bandicoots. The game began development in 2009, and shortly after would be cancelled by Activision, who would lay off the entire development team behind the game. The game was cancelled before it was officially revealed, but some images, concept art, and videos had been leaked onto the internet. In addition to these leaks, a small demo of the DS version was as well leaked onto the internet. Despite all this leaked footage, no gameplay footage of the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360 versions has been released or seen anywhere on the internet. Bart Simpson hair push-up ice cream. If you grew up in Australia, there is a chance you may remember seeing this Bart Simpson push-up ice cream that would have his hair come out the top as the stuff you ate. These were available in shops over roughly around 10 years ago, and despite so many people remembering these, myself included, there really isn't any information at all about them. They are a complete mystery. There isn't any details regarding them on the internet whatsoever. No promotional material or advertising by shops that sold them has resurfaced, and it seems that the Simpsons themselves have not once mentioned their existence. The only thing you can dig up online in relation to these ice creams are a few forums of people asking if anyone else has any memory of them. We do luckily have one thing that proves of these ice creams' existence, with that being just one photo. Only a single photo of the product has surfaced onto the internet, and that's it. Do you remember these? Atoll.exe. This is definitely one of the most obscure and random things that I'll be covering in this video. I discovered this piece of lost media looking through a lost video games iceberg. I thought this was a good way of uncovering some interesting pieces of lost media. I came across Atoll.exe, and searching up Atoll.exe on Google, I could only find one thing. A video on YouTube titled Me Playing Atoll.exe. The description states this is an offline game featuring the island from the SpongeBob SquarePants TV show, and cropped text at the start of the video reveals this was a game made through GameMaker. Yeah, it looks extremely simple and boring. There isn't really much to the game whatsoever except walk around, but I just thought this was funny to put into this video. You would think the game would be creepy and weird because it has .exe in the title, but no, it's just this random SpongeBob game. But at the same time it kind of is eerie. It's a bit too simple and open, sort of liminal. Maybe there is more to this game, but at the same time we will never know as it is now lost. Daddy-O. Daddy-O was a sitcom from the year 2000 starring Michael Chiklis, who would play the role of a stay-at-home father who got into all sorts of funny, comedic situations while at home taking care of the family. The show had ran from March 23rd to October 23rd, and during its time received extremely low audience ratings in the US. The first season of the show had been broadcasted in full. However, the second season had been only gone into its fourth episode before suddenly the show being taken off the airwaves by NBC, leaving 9 full episodes unaired. Daddy-O had no known home media releases, and the only footage available of Daddy-O are promos and interstitial materials on YouTube. SMB3free.cf. This was an online flash game built with the Hello Mario Engine plugin. The game was created by Animator XP for the Create Your Own Screamer contest, which was held on January 1st, 2016. The game pretends and appears to be a free flash port of the original Super Mario Bros. 3 game. The controls consist of the WASD keys, and the game only contains a single level. The level looks similar to the original Super Mario Bros. 3 version, however contains enemies, sections, and power-ups that are very advanced for the first level. Once Mario reaches a certain point in the level where there are wooden pillars sticking up from a pitfall, with Red Koopas standing on top of them, the Mario character will die and a flashing picture of Regan McNeil from The Exorcist appears with a loud scream. The game would eventually be taken down along with the entire AnimatorXP.com website. The game and Screamer remain lost and unplayable. Zack Tales. This was a live-action puppetry series from 1990 that was targeted towards preschoolers. It aired in syndication on CBN. The show was produced and distributed by Deke Entertainment and Children's Television Workshop. The show follows the character Zack, who was a wacky mayor of Funtown. Him and his sidekick Kilroy go on different adventures, and throughout helps children, giving them advice on daily problems. The series lasted 13 half-hour episodes, and all of these episodes are completely lost. There isn't any footage whatsoever of the show in English online, and there is very little information about it. Some things that have resurfaced online in relation to the show include an image of the main character Zack, which had been discovered on the DHX media website. A 6-minute clip of the show and one promo, both being in Arabic, has too resurfaced. And that's it. A very mysterious show that to this day remains completely lost. LostBoy.exe. LostBoy.exe was a horror game that contained a rat, also known as a remote access Trojan. The game first appeared on 4chan, popping up on different threads urging people to download and play this horror game. Many people did, unaware that the game contained a virus. The user who published the LostBoy.exe game would later supposedly begin to fill the forum with different webcam photos of people who were playing it, their personal details which consist of passwords and bank accounts, and would wipe their hard drives. The game has since become lost. There is no longer any way to play this game anymore. Original version of the Backrooms image. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Backrooms by now. The Backrooms is a creepypasta and urban legend about a realm in which someone finds themselves trapped forever. Often described as a labyrinth-like office space with moist carpet, ugly wallpaper, and yellow hue. The original Backrooms concept originated on 4chan. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights and maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. The whole Backrooms concept has since branched out and has exploded in popularity. There have been many attempts to find the source of the original image. Where did this image actually come from? And what I want to know the most, where was this image originally taken? The original Backrooms creepypasta started back on May 14th, 2019, on 4chan's paranormal board. An image of a creepy empty building had been uploaded anonymously with a caption that would explain the famous Backrooms concept. This was far from the first time the image had been posted onto the internet. The image was posted onto 4chan a vast number of times before as an iconic liminal space. The earliest known appearance had been from a Cursed Images thread dated April 21st, 2018. However, after some time, a slightly earlier version was discovered on a 4chan thread from April 8th, 2018. This image contained a .jpeg code that, when converted to the date in its metadata, revealed that the image had been first uploaded to 4chan on July 15th, 2012. However, this old post has been lost to time. The image's metadata also exposed that the photo was taken by a camera that had been manufactured from 2001 to 2002, which has led many to theorize that the photo was captured sometime in the 2000s. Interstir, in English known as Interstellar, was a South African science fiction puppet TV series that aired during the early 1980s by the South African Broadcasting Corporation. The show had only ever existed in the Afrikaans language and has never been dubbed for any other country. This show is obviously extremely similar to Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds, and was most likely created as Thunderbirds never had a dub at the time. The show premiered on July 20th, 1982, and would air its last episode on April 26, 1986. After the show stopped airing, the series would fall into obscurity and would be forgotten about by most people. Although in 2009, SABC had released 2 DVD volumes of the series, which contained episodes 1 to 13. This was good, 13 episodes were available again. However, the series had consisted of 2 seasons made up of 37 episodes. The remaining 24 episodes are still considered lost and unavailable.